Hey guys, what is going on? As I'm sure you've worked out by now, looking at Coldzera and how he defends the B side of Cash. Tarik's other B player, so we're hearing his name quite a lot throughout this video. But I want to start off talking about early round situations and getting control of this B main area, which can give a lot of information for the CTs and really help out with rotations. So to start off with, Coldzera can just smoke this off as per usual, but the annoying thing a T side can do is this util set, which denies a lot of information from the CT side. You can see smoke, molly, flash coming through from get right, and he's down in here and he's nice and close to the B site where there could be any number of players with him ready to explode through this smoke, ready to attack the B bomb site. However, there's nothing really Coldzera can do because he has no information exactly what's going on. All he's heard is one player jump in this scenario. He's got Tarik in the vent defending that particular entrance, so he's going to be watching this smoke, making sure no one's trying to creep through. So they know at least that they're going to take some kind of contact before they enter onto the B side. But the problem with this is Cold has already used a smoke, so he's down on the utility game. He has no information to back up behind it, and Get Right has all the information, and we see the play he's going to make in this particular example because there is no reaction from Cold. There's no reaction from the CT side. They think, all right, it's just a standard util set. Not the case in this scenario. Tarik's going to be taken out straight away. Because Cold has used that smoke in this scenario, the full execute comes in from NIP. He's in a Molotov, and it's probably one of the easier kills of Get Right's life. Now, obviously, if you let the T side do that over and over again, it's going to be a little bit frustrating. They can just bust on you whenever they want to. So obviously, you need a way to punish this. And this is going to be what Tarik's going to do in this scenario with Cold's help. So he had a really good spawn in this scenario. So this is probably the best thing you could ever ask for. Up at his feet. He's going to get nice and close up in front of this util set. So you can see right now he's scoped in the util set all around him, same exact one as before. And he's going to be holding onto this angle there. But he's not alone in this scenario. As soon as he gets his first kill, I want you to notice what Coldzera is doing. He's in this back corner. He's got this flash pinned, a nice little pop flash for that B main entrance. Back corner here if you haven't worked it out, and it's pretty self-explanatory on your screen right now. And as he lets this flash fly, you're going to see Tarik's able to re-peek onto it. So Cold's going to throw the flash. Tarik unfortunately misses the shot and re-peeks a little earlier. But you can see if Tarik was a little bit more patient and waited potentially in this scenario, again, it's a hard one to know exactly what to do. But these players are all blind. He can peek out and he can punish the next player as well trying to come around. And if it is just a single player, they've got all the information and it's a util set wasted from the T side. So that's a potential punish right there. Even so, with only the one kill from Tarik, could have definitely got more. Coldzera's still in a good spot to be ready for this B hit coming in. This is a nice underarm pop flash he likes to throw. You see he's going to get rain. But also what you want to notice is, because of this early information from Tarik, these players are able to rotate in. Furs here nice and early. He's got down into the site. As that comes through, Stewie's going to find the kill through the smoke. And the whole MIBR lineup is here. Fallen as well. They're all here nice and early. Play is gone. It's nowhere near as clean as what we saw from Get Right at NIP because they go for this more aggressive stack in front. If you're going to go for this util set, and even if you don't push through, such as we saw this player do here, is you still used a smoke, a molly, a potential flash, and the CT still know you're not pushing forward towards B. So you've wasted potential utility you could use elsewhere on the map. So MIBR, I have this play I like to go to. Definitely not get close to the box. In this example here, you can see as well what Coldzera does. A little bit looser, but still a very similar scenario with Tarik up nice and close at that box. And yeah, that's a good way to punish that util set. And it's a pretty standard one, pretty self-explanatory, but one I don't see teams running enough. And the other play you obviously have if you have a really good spawn, it's just the straight off B main pick. See, every second counts, every millisecond, so it's going to be a real loose smoke from Coldzera before he jumps right in front of it, and you can find that first player in Morels and fall away. Pretty self-explanatory. And if you want to get even more aggressive than that, Coldzera has another nice little flash, again, very simple, like the other one we saw. It's going to be this one here for Tarik, and it's just going to be for him to get nice and wide around this angle, nice little double kill, one of them being Fur, but he's able to escape back behind that smoke. So that's your last example. A lot of them might appear to be with an AWP, but they're not. Any of those ones up at this box over here, get a little look right here. You can play with the CZ, M4, whatever you feel like, you're going to be nice and good from that spot with those flashes. So good options. It's a good way to punish this util set, which if you play at any kind of competitive level, even amateur level, I'm sure a lot of players will pick this util set up. Playing in vent is something Coldzera will also do from time to time. We saw Tarik do it in that previous clip, even though it didn't work out too well for him. One thing I really liked about it is how they reboost into Vent after the mid control comes in from the T side. And Vent, pretty self-explanatory, you can peek out on timing, trying to apply pressure towards middle and towards B. So I'm not going to talk about that too much in this one. It's going to be this reboost I talk about. So obviously if you're the player getting boosted, you should be the one smoking B main so that your player on the site, Tarik in this example, still has his full util set to defend if necessary. So you can see here, Renegade's taking mid control pretty early on, forces Coldzera out. What I want to talk about is his util set going back into this one. Notice he lines himself up. He's going to throw this particular Molotov out through the vent. Notice what this does to Azar as it pops out and it lands in this position here, and it forces anyone away from the vent as he tries to get reboosted. Team Molotov comes in at the same time, so he can't exactly get up with timing, but you can see what they were probably trying to achieve. So as he gets boosted straight back up here, he's able to get back into the vent, and we're going to see Fur throw a little flash in a second. So as he comes back from this one, he's going to flash above vent, and Coldzera is going to peek with it. You see, not really much Liaz could do. And just like that, he's out of there. So that Molotov's a great one as well, because you can see, if you manage to get boosted up straight away, all the players close and Molotoved out, Azar's out in this position here. This flash above the vent, even more effective than if a player's maybe tucked in nice and close. So you have a much greater chance of blinding those players, and Coldzera is able to pop back out. Something I don't see a lot of teams do. It's important to note as well that as this Molotov came in, because they want to reboost, Tarik is re-smoking B main in this scenario. So that's just a little play they have, one I really like, one that I have seen catch teams off every now and then, as it definitely isn't a common play to come out. So next up we have playing in checkers, and in particular playing this back box area. We've seen examples of getting flashed into face B main earlier in the video. We've seen an example of where Tarik plays checkers along with Cold boosting into vent. I want to talk about the back box, as I already said, and that's going to be somewhere I see often players in pugs, and I just play random face or pickup games. Players play very incorrectly. They overextend way too far looking for this first kill. And this round here is a perfect example, and almost turns into two 1v1s. You've got Tarik on the site and Coldzera right here. So I want you to watch how they play this. The players come storming into the site, and Cold doesn't move an inch. You can see Tarik's take contact. He's getting peeked. He's seen 3 people right now. But Cold he's not interested at all. He's just want to kill the players, and he wants to control this checkers area. Because I'm going to show what it allows MIBR to do in this scenario. He takes out the first player. He's able to peek out wider in this scenario, trying to catch the player off. But as he locks down this checkers area, notice Tarik's been dead for a little while now. He's not even on the kill feed anymore. And so he's been down. So they have full site control, but he's conceding the plant. He has no interest of overextending and facing against these players here. He wants to control this area of the vent because it allows players such as Fallen to rotate in very easily. And also if you think about the after plant, if you have no control of that checkers area, where are you going to play after plant? On the site. And with all the utility MIBR have in this scenario, that's going to be one of the easiest retakes they should be able to pull off pretty convincingly. So you can see, even though Grat takes out Fallen in this situation, notice how Coldzera, he's just buying his time. He doesn't want to go down. He eventually finds the player, and again, he's Stewie coming through the vent. And as I said, it's going to be pretty simple. 3v1 scenario, you definitely expect them to win that. That being said, they have all the util. They can molly out everything they want. They're not really going to in this scenario. Liaz is going to win this one, actually. So, well played by him. But you can see, 3v1 scenario, Cole definitely did the right thing, gave his team the best chance into that round possible. But, you know, maybe Liaz is just that good. So with all that out of the way, I want to talk about defending later into the round, defending on the site, and really locking down when these executes or these busts come in from the T side. Now this first example I've got for you is a good one because it links into something we were talking about earlier, which is playing up at these close boxes if you have a good spawn, getting in front of this utility set, which you can see exactly what's going to happen. But if nothing comes through, Tarik is very happy just to stay where he is right now. And even though Coldzera is about to rotate off, so he's not there to support with that flash if Tarik needs, what Tarik has in this situation is a lot of early information. So you can see mid control is lost right now. So Tarik can be attacked from any direction, out of vent, out of B main. Notice back against this wall, he's not out wide, actually in checkers, he gets in front of it. So if you come out of vent, this probably isn't the first place you're looking. And what this does for Tarik is, as I said, nice and early information, which allows Cold to react very fast with his utility, which is the smoke in this situation. So Tarik knows straight away, vent's broken, this player's coming that way. He also could know anyone coming down B mains. He's been scoped in until right now on that situation there. So very easy. This is the best way to defend the site. If you can get that smoke off or a molly onto that position right there, it's going to be a lot easier to defend this site. You can see you can just flash that area, peek onto it. Oliver Meister's forced to come through a smoke, so he has a disadvantage, and then he knows exactly where Carrigan has to be coming from. So a very simple hold, and if you can molly off those two entrances, it's going to be the best example and the easiest way to hold possible. It's going to be a similar scenario in this clip here. I know it's a force buy, so low util on the NIP side. There's quite a few useful little bits in this one, which is why I've chosen it, because there's, as I said, quite a few different things you can definitely incorporate into your own game. First one being a very easy smoke for B if you're on the site. It's going to be that right there. So you're just tucking yourself in against this wooden plate. I've lost the word. What is that? It's a target. That's what it is. I don't know how I forgot that, but you can tuck yourself against such a wooden target. That's going to be the smoke there for B main, and you're going to back away. So notice in this scenario here, they're playing double on site. Tarik is here. Well, he was here. He's going to come back to the site in a second. And they're playing 2 on the side. This is because they know there's low util, so they know it's a force buy from NIP in this particular scenario. But also important to note, they will go into these these two-man setups on the site. Say a mid control's coming like we saw previously, so they've used 3 Molotovs in towards middle, so they know there's not a lot of mollies to flush out this site. They'll be quite comfortable moving this 2-site setup. No Molotov used in a force buy, they're probably not going to do this because they can dump all the Molotovs onto the site, 2 or 3, it's going to be quite difficult to hold. So again, we're going to see, similar to before, the Molotovs coming in. So as the clock winds low, there's going to be a Molotov into that area of the map, and then as that one's fading, Coldzera is going to be mollying off the second entrance after holding it. So it's very difficult for them to attack through multiple entrances. He's going to swing out and find his first contact. Now this point here is where we start to see some really good crossfire. So that's the same pop flash we saw earlier from Tarik, the underarm one aiming at the sky. He's going to come out. This is what I love right now, is right here. Is the crossfire they have in this scenario. And this is one they run quite commonly, not just against the anti-eco or the force buy in this scenario, because you can see Tarik's got anyone coming out this entrance, and anyone coming out that entrance there is covered by Coldzera. So you can see anyone swinging has to swing quite wide to even see Tarik. So if we look at this from Forrest's point of view, he's exposed to a lot of the site right now. And to fight Tarik, he's going to have to come out real wide in this scenario. And that's where it's very easy again. You can see even if Tarik's missed, very easy for Coldzera. So that's a great little crossfire, one watching at one entrance each. And to peek either of these players, the T side have to expose themselves on all 4 lots. That's a great little crossfire, probably my favorite 2-man setup on the side itself. And it becomes particularly powerful when you have this second AWP, such as Coldzera does here. And lastly, I just want to talk about supportive flashes. And how, again, you always want to be trying to fight these players come out these entrances. Because if you let them up towards headshot, up towards the site, it's going to be really hard to hold. And that's when you see an unsuccessful B holds, when these T players are allowed up close to the site. So you're going to see Coldzera, he's got a flash pinned right now. He's waiting for Tarik to take the first contact, expecting an RG to maybe bust onto the site after Tarik does take this contact. And I just want to notice how Tarik deals with the Molotov actually landing at his feet. Notice, again, very important, he has been the player saving his smoke because he's the player on the site. He's going to smoke it off, and this is something very common for Tarik to do. Smoking off default and then looking over it like this makes it quite difficult for the T side to know exactly what's going on. So as soon as he takes that contact, Coldzera is going to be letting a flash fly. Tarik's waiting for it, and he's going to peek out with it, see if anyone's trying to advance onto him on towards the site. And the same thing again. Nice little flash coming over. Coldzera's going to try and come through with it. And again, Tarik has taken the contact again. My observing's not that good, but you get the idea. A lot of supportive flashes from different players. You saw there as Tarik peeked out to get that second kill. There was also a flash through from Fallen, which also helped Coldzera push through that smoke there. So these supportive flashes are a big thing about being this B player, is if you either rotate her off, like Cold has been in a couple of these examples, you're ready to throw those flashes, because they can make all the difference towards Tarik getting this 3k, or only getting 1, and then potentially getting overwhelmed, M4 or AWP. But that is it for this video, guys. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you do enjoy this kind of content, and I'll catch you all in the next video.